Hello, I'm Mystic Orange and this is video hashtag 583. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. In this video, I'll be talking about and reviewing 16 Season 1 Episode 13. It's called Girls in the Band. In my opinion, I think that's a horrendous episode title. Why not name it after the band this episode is talking about? I'm also not sure what this title is referencing. Anyway, let's get into talking about this episode. At the first scene of the show, the gang are walking down the aisle. Jonesy is busy looking for a job, which is nothing new. This is what he does every day. And while they are walking down, Kaylin and Jen are listening to some music. They're listening to a boy band called Dog Toy. And according to the wiki page, Dog Toy is basically a parody of NSYNC on Backstreet Boys. And they end up singing with the song, and it irritates the guys in the group. I think I'm going to hate this episode. Yet it's another episode with gender stereotypes that I don't like. Why are the guys reacting like this? It makes me think about things that happen in real life, like people who are fans of One Direction or JLS or Justin Bieber, and there's some like macho men who react negatively towards this. It's bringing back school memories where people will bash at people who like these things back in like school and stuff. Then the funny shit happens. Because Kingdom's bad dancing, she ends up kicking Pokey the panda and he sends flying down the escalator, falling down all the way on the ground floor. Like Jonesy says, that was awesome. Anyway, because Caitlin took out Pokey the panda, this gives Wyatt an idea. Jonesy could become Pokey the panda. Which isn't a bad idea, but he can also do other things as well, like be a banana or something. Anyway, in the next scene, Caitlin is changing her clothes at the khaki barn. Nikki is helping her. And while they are doing that, Jen calls Caitlin through her phone. And Jen announces something important. Dog Toy is coming to this mall. Jen and Caitlin are excited about this. And they have to audition to meet them. At the Lemon, Jen and Caitlin still continue fangirling over Dog Toy. They scream really loud. They think their dog toys are really cute. I can empathize with that, and I think this is kind of reflective of how fans are like in real life. This makes me think of a scene from Turning Red, where the girls, talk about this boy band. Anyway, it turns out that Jonesy took my advice, and he is now Pokey the Panda. And he really doesn't enjoy this job. Little kids keep following him wherever he goes. He can't barely see in his outfit, and it really smells. And I bet it's really warm wearing that. However, Wyatt drops in an interesting information. Apparently, Jonesy worked at Later Holes and Larry's. Apparently, he worked as a mountain maid. What the heck is a mountain maid? Anyway, for the next part, Kaylin shows everyone her dance moves. And this part is so funny. Kaylin dances like a rooster. In the next bit, Kaylin and Jen drag Nikki into the concert in the auditions. And I think Jen, Charmaine, and Serena, they do their part in the auditions. However, they eliminate everyone except Jen. As Jen wins her audition, Nikki sees this and she purposely sneezes, causing her nose ring to fly off the stage, and it lands on Jen's buttocks. And then she goes over there to pick her nose ring up. The producer sees Nikki's outfit, and she has the look what they're looking for. While provoking Jen, Nikki shows the producers some dance moves that she can do. There's so many things I need to say about this scene. First of all, let's talk about the animation. I know this is cartoon, but even if this was real life, if Nikki did sneeze, her nose ring wouldn't fly off like that. And it's so obvious like Nikki did this on purpose. Like it's so obvious like Jen won and then suddenly Nikki sneezed. Like you're not fooling anyone, Nikki. And cause I've seen this show before, like I know about this episode, like Nikki likes dog toy. I'm sorry for spoiling that for you, but like you have to watch the show yourself. But I do think it's kind of shady that Nikki just did that. And this is such a weird scene though, like when Nikki just came up on stage, Jen was like, oh, she can't handle it. Did Jen need to say that? And why would Nikki oddly accept this? Like she made a big fuss about like not liking dog toy. I know that she likes dog toy, but like how isn't Jen not clued up on this? In the next part of the scene, the guys hang out at Wyatt's work. I have to be honest, I really don't care about the boys in this episode. I'm kind of annoyed at them for being so rude towards the girls, for liking a boy band, and they're still being rude right now in this moment. And I hated this scene in particular. It's just the guys fighting throughout. Who thought that was smart or funny? And yet, this is another gender stereotype that I hate. It's as if this show thinks that boys like farting or and such. This makes me think of a scene from Loud House, which I also didn't like. It's where we get like gender bent version of the sisters, and it's just the episode. The entire boys are just farting all the time. It's so disgusting. And I think Alternative Production, he did a video on Total Drama, and I think it was a bunch of disgustingness where all the boys are hanging out together. I will link that somewhere in the description or comment section, or maybe in the community tab. Uh, and he explains how this disgusting how like these guys are just burping all the time, like, and yeah, I can agree with that. It's just so stupid. So the guys bitch about Wyatt for not loosening up. And then Wyatt proved this by wearing a panda costume and kissing the girl from the kissing couple. Okay, I will give them that. That was awesome. In the next part of the scene, we're at Stickit, where Jude is talking to an empty costume of Pookie the panda. He's so stoned that he doesn't realize that Jonesy is not inside it. And he shares his secrets with the panda. Meanwhile, Jen comes in ranting towards Jude about Nikki. Honestly, like, Jude is the wrong person you need to talk to. Like, first of all, the boys were rude to you earlier. Like, these guys don't care about dog toy or whatever. I suggest you rant about this towards Caitlin, the girl who, is also into dog toy. And you know what? She runs towards Jude. Like, I think it's like this is none of Jude's business. And also, like, I kind of understand Jen's point of view, but I also don't 100% agree with what she is saying. Let's clear things up anyway. I think it's kind of wrong that Nikki did, stoop so low by, sabotaging Jen's performance and, taking over and meeting, Doctor or whatever. She won and not Jen. That was kind of shitty thing to do. And as viewers, we can see, like, Nikki did this on purpose. Like, Nikki did steal Jen's spot. However, is this real thing that I don't agree with or something? Like I don't 100% agree with like what she is saying. Like if Jen, I think she made this analogy with Caitlyn. Like if Caitlyn saw a dress that she likes and she wanted it but didn't have the money for it, and then the second friend, had the money and really wanted that dress as well, they can take it. I feel like I feel like that person isn't wrong for taking it because they also wanted that dress as well. Your friends don't owe you anything if they want that thing as well. And also, I feel like this is kind of hypocritical of Jan to say this because if I fast forward in the future, I'm pretty sure she does this with Caitlyn. This whole stealing the dress thing. I'm pretty sure there was an episode where Caitlyn wanted this gold dress from Khaki Barn, but Jen took it. Like Jen needs to take her own advice. At the lemon, Jen continues to rant about Nikki towards Caitlyn. However, Nikki overhears this in the lemon. However, Jen makes a good point. Nikki presented herself as not liking dog toy, not liking boy bands. That's how she presented herself. She thinks she's better than everyone because she doesn't like those things. This makes me think like Nikki is insecure, and also I didn't think her argument was, solid. Like she says, she wasn't the one who wanted to be chosen. They like Jen and Keelan did drag her into this, but the only reason they dragged you so for moral support. And Nikki did force herself into this. Like, if she didn't fake sneeze with her nose ring, of course she was forced into it. And that concludes that, yes, Nikki is being a bad friend because, she stole Jen's spot without considering her feelings. Anyway, Nikki and Jen argument, continues. You gotta love the drama, though. It is juicy. And Jan lays out onto Nikki, the rule of friendship. However, Nikki and Caitlyn didn't know this rule even existed. So you can't even say this is a girl code thing. Because Nikki and Caitlyn don't even know this exists. So really, Jen shouldn't take a big deal out of this. In the next scene, we're back with the guys. Jude wears a panda costume and rides down the ski bar through the escalator. And then he lands onto the fountain. However, Ron the Rent-A-Cop isn't pleased about this. In the next part of the scene, we're back at Spindus. The guys are still being jerks. And great, we have another fart joke. And then Wyatt drops in some sexist line, like, you shut the hell up, Wyatt. And I'm gonna rip into Wyatt here. Like, he bashes they all bash about the boy bands and saying they suck and things like that. Hearing their song compared to your song, Wyatt, at least they sing better than you. Like, let's not forget about your episode where you were singing that song. The song about your friends with your terrible voice. So anyway, Jude comes in to spin this, and he's being chased by Ron the Rent-A-Cop, and he's trying to hide his panda costume. Ron wasn't pleased about this incident, and Jones is wearing his panda costume again, and he has to hide. And while that's happening, Ron comes in to spin this. Wyatt just distracts Ron with this. He eats the chips and he makes a fake emergency. Jude thinks it's real and he causes Wyatt some pain. After Ron leaves, Jonesy tries to escape. However, Ron does catch up to him. In the next scene, we're at Kakiban. And Jen and Caitlin aren't having it. Jen is going to rip into Nikki and find out why Nikki all of a sudden wants to be in a dog toy video. Jen has you cornered now, Nikki. What are you gonna do about it? And suddenly the truth reveals. Her bag rips open, and suddenly all the fan merches of Dog Toy comes out of her bag. And we finally find out that Nikki is a closeted groupie of the Dog Toy. Basically, she's a kid from Turning Red. Like she bullies others for liking a boy band, yet she likes a boy band herself. After knowing about Nikki's darkest secret, she gives her backstory about how she liked the dog toys. And I understand like Nikki's point of view of falling in love with these attractive boy bands. And also, if you like boy bands, you're not less valid of liking them. So don't ever feel embarrassed if you like it or anything else actually. Because at the end of the day, it's your opinion. You can like whatever you want, and you shouldn't feel ashamed of liking things. And if it doesn't hurt anyone, why should it bother anyone else? In the next scene, the girls finally meet Jason and John from the dog toys. And I can understand the girls' excitement when they meet a celebrity. And Jason gets to sign Nikki's Jason doll. I guess it's a full moment for the girls. They should own this time. Also, you only got one life. Why wouldn't you meet your favorite celebrity? And then the episode ends in a bad note. I really hated this ending. The boys were such jacks in here. Like they find out about Nikki, liking Jason and having a doll about Jason, and they just mock her for it. And like according to them, she has bad taste because she likes a dog toy. Seriously, they need to grow up. I have to be honest here. I did not enjoy this episode whatsoever, especially coming from the boys. They really put a bad taste in my mouth when watching this episode. I can understand if you're a band geek and you're offended by this episode. If I had to do a top 10 list of 16 worst episodes, this episode will be right up there. Anyway, I guess that's it for this video, but time to share some of my summaries. I guess the thing that I like the most about this episode is definitely like Caitlin kicking Pokey the panda down the escalator. That was hilarious. My least favorite thing about this episode, this is really obvious, it's the boys. Like they were really rude towards the girls for liking, a boy band. You think Nikki was the worst person for me? No, I actually didn't mind Nikki, and I actually liked the conflict between Nikki and Jen. I think they added juicy drama that I found fun. The worst thing about this episode is obviously the boys. I did not like their presence in this episode whatsoever. They were so rude and jerkish towards the girls just for liking a boy band. It's really not you know, it's really not their business and what they like. And they act like, they're so macho everything because they like a boy band. And I hated the scene where they are just, farting. And the gender stereotype in this episode is just disgusting. And they shame Wyatt for not farting. What the heck is this? Anyway, that's it for my review of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to like, share, subscribe, and have a lovely day.